YOLO, guys. Oh, God. That's probably the worst thing about to say. But anyways, welcome back to another vlog. It's been a hot minute since I've done a vlog. And you know what? I've kind of missed not doing a vlog. But yeah, so last time I did a video. I think I posted about getting Ed Sheeran tickets. Excited for that concert. Super excited to go to Ed Sheeran. Can't wait. It's going to be a good concert. Like an amazing concert. So I'm really excited for that one. But yeah, I definitely want to do like a video on that when I go to Ed Sheeran next year. It's a definite video. But yes, so, and anyway, I think I did like an update of still not knowing about the job interview I went for. Anyway, because pretty much it's, almost 3 weeks has passed since I've, had the interview and nothing had been said. And I think I was getting really annoyed because sorry about bad angling. Okay, yeah. So pretty much I was just getting so annoyed about the fact that, I hadn't heard anything and whatnot. And it was really pissing me off because they did tell me oh, you'll find out regardless and whatnot. And so I decided to bite the bullet and message the chicken eater who contacted me about the interview and was like, hey, has there been any form of feedback about this from the interview, blah blah, and stuff. And she's like, oh, I'll pass it on, get some stuff. Anyway, about 3 hours passed and finally got another response back from the chick from HR and was she was like, oh, I was able to talk to such and such who was the person who did the interview, and it was basically listed 5 points, 5 dot points of feedback. And must admit, the first 4 of the dot points, I kind of agreed on, I was yeah, fair call. But the last dot point I was kind of didn't agree with because it was random and it didn't sit well with me because of the fact what she put wasn't really a part of the questions. So it kind of was wow, it's a bit low. So basically I had to answer 10 questions and stuff like that. And with this last dot point, it's basically it was mentioned that, because I didn't make mention of the organization's values and purpose. But the thing is, there was not one question about the organization's values and purpose. Not one single question. There was not legitimately one question that that said, what are the organization's values and purpose? Quite legitimately. So that kind of threw me off. I was wow, that's kind of low. To say that, to say that I didn't mention the values and purpose when, it's a low blow. But because realistically, but when, yeah, because it just threw me off guard because I was when I first seen it, I was what? And then I actually, because obviously I had the questions still, because they were obviously through to me by email. So I had a look and I'm going, so it kind of did throw me off. Oh shit, I'm like a bad camera angles, guys. But yeah, so I was like really confused. And I was like, I was kind of like tempted to like message like the thing. I'm like, hey, like, there's a message, like an email. I'm like, hey, like, what's, just a bit curious around this, like, um, around, yeah, because like it just was like, well, how do you expect someone to mention the organization's like values and purpose when like there's nothing mentioning in a question, um, you know, especially when you're not being asked about it. So, but when I looked at like, obviously in the questions, like, realistically, the only way you could have at least put in there, around like the company's values and purpose is if you kind of sneak it in there with like the first question. What is, I think it was like, I think the question was something like, oh, why'd you, something like, oh, tell us a bit about yourself and what inspires you. I think that's where you can kind of like probably maybe sneak in like the values and purpose, or maybe like I think like the other question that you could have at least snuck in was maybe, why did you apply for the job? Yeah, I think that was one of the questions. And they're probably like the only two questions where you could have at least snuck it in. But in saying that, like, like, don't get there and say, oh, she didn't mention it when, when there was literally no, like if it, like fair call, like, yeah, like, I must admit, I probably would find it a bit more fair call if it was a part of like an actual part of a question, like, you know, um, but yeah, just like it's a bit hypocritical for someone to go and say, oh, they didn't do this when, but yeah, like some of the other points, I was like, yeah, I really kind of agreed on because like obviously too, because there was some questions that I had to answer that I could answer like quite confidently. It was like, I kind of knew, and there was obviously some that I wasn't so confident about because I was like, I was hesitant. And did hold back a bit with how to answer them and whatnot. But yeah, but life goes on. But but yeah, it's strange, like especially for someone that like me who's been in the disability industry for almost 3 years, like it's not that hard. Like it's like the role I went for, like it's kind of one of those roles, like they yeah. One thing that got me is like they kind of expected more of like a research into what the role was about. It's like, really, like it's yeah, if I was like newer to the industry, then yeah, I kind of get and stuff. But considering I've been in it for so long, like I kind of know what that role is like. It's not like I have to freaking research what the role is. Yeah, but in saying that, like in a way, I'm kind of glad I didn't get the job of support coordinator because, especially with the organization that I work for, because I don't know, for me, I just got the vibe of clickiness, like they were just too clicky. Yeah, and I just got a vibe. I was just like, it just I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to be a part of like that vibe, you know, just, you know, kind of bad vibes, legitimately. But you know what? In hindsight, like, it's gave me a perspective of like, yeah, I still want to try and at least get into sport coordination, but at the same time, I wouldn't try and get into sport coordination with the company I work for. So, but yeah, life lessons, lesson learned, I suppose, lesson learned. But yeah, but anyway, that's my little spiel and my little update of what I kind of learned. And you know, in hindsight, this is probably why I don't really go for other job roles, especially within like the organization I work for, like, because they have advertised so much lately, like, for different roles and whatnot. But she's, you can tell like my camera angling is bad. Oh, but yeah, so lesson learned. If I ever do go for a job, you know, especially if it's like sport coordination, I'll be going for another organization and not the one I work for. So but anyway, but yeah, so that's about it. That's my update, and catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.